Once again, my name is Jonathan. I'm a senior account executive here at Yooz. Been here for about 4 years. And so we're going to have a little bit of fun, but a little agenda today for everybody out there. So obviously we just did some introductions, but I'm going to talk about who we are really high level. And then after that, I'm going to jump into the technology and then kind of look at a few things, how we operate, how we're a little different. And then at the end, it's not on here, but a little Q&A. So if there's time left over, we're going to have some questions and answers. So please put those in the chat so I can answer those questions for you. So a little bit about us, who we are. We're a spinoff from our sister company, Idasoft. They're world-class on-prem AP provider, been on for 35 plus years. In that 35 plus years, they developed a smart data extraction and found out that, so basically imagine OCR on steroids is like I like to call it. So, which we'll see here in just a little bit, but they found that they put that technology in the cloud, it drops the price point a lot. So in 2010, we were born in the cloud. Since then, we've grown quite a bit. We have 2 offices, one in Europe, one here in Dallas, Texas, that is all of North America. We have over 5,000 clients. We process millions of documents a year, and we integrate with well over 250 ERP, Sage products being one of our main ones that we integrate with. So we won some awards we're pretty proud of. Wide variety here from G2 awards to Rising Stars and some other really cool awards as well. So you're probably wondering some of our clients, wide variety of clients here. So you see anywhere from Planet Fitness to Premier Trucking to a lot of different other big ones as well. I'm going to touch on something, and you probably didn't expect this today, but an ROI that we did. We partnered with Ardent Partners to create an ROI. How much does it cost to process a single invoice? And this is what they came back with. So cost to process a single invoice, $15.55, all the way down to receiving and paying about 28 days. Okay, so if you think about all the manual typing things in or waiting for that approval or getting lost in email or getting lost on the desk, things around that, along with a lot of other things, all included in this. But, you know, also maybe being on the phone with suppliers, that could take a little time, them calling you, no visibility, where things are at. That could lead to late and duplicate payments. Might not happen for a lot of people, but we've seen it happen to 31% of companies have late payments or duplicates, which is never fun as well. And once again, it's because of that lack of reporting and visibility. And so what we see is when you come on with AP automation, this actually drops drastically. So it goes from $15 down to $3. Your days go from 28 to 6, giving the company about a 60 to 80% savings overall, which is pretty nice if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. So here's front-end processing of AP. So some of you might use POs, which is great, and some might not. So we'll say you use POs, you can create those in Sage 300, have those come over, or you can create those inside of Yooz, not a problem from there. Once it comes over, it's gonna go, it's gonna sit in the back of Yooz. So once it sits in the back of Yooz, our capture piece is where we're very diverse. And so we can have, you can get from the invoice from an AP email box. You can also have it come in, you can scan it in, you can take a picture on your cell phone or tablet, send it in through an app as well. Once it comes in, a few things that's different about us, we read the page in about 20 to 30 seconds. We also take any type of file, so it can be an Excel document, a Word document. We'll take it, we'll read it. And then once it gets into the system, it comes to review any POs that was either created in Sage 300 or in Yooz. Will match to those and say you don't use POs, so regular invoices or documents. It's going to come in, read it, and remember that coding from last time. So all your header fields, GL, cost dimensions, all that fun stuff. It's going to memorize all of that. Once after that, this is where we get really tailored to your organization. So if you have workflow approvals, great. We can have it go to 1 person, 2 people. I have a client that goes up to 17 approvals for 1 invoice, which is pretty wild if you think about it. But once it's done with approval, we'll send it right over to Sage 300 instantaneously. If you're making payments with us, great. Once that payment is done, we'll send that payments remittance data over to Sage 300 from there. Right above approval, we see workflow, right above workflow is no touch. So you're probably wondering what that is. We have an automated no touch. So if you tell us like, hey, when these bills come in and they're always, maybe utility bill always comes in, it's always under, we'll say $100, and it's always from these vendors, from that utility bill, we can have it automatically skip as long as it meets that criteria to either approval or straight over to Sage 300 from there, or maybe straight to payment as well. So a lot of things we can do with the no touch to kind of automate the process and help out AP, streamline a lot of things. So no further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and let's have a little fun and take a look at Yooz. So this is Yooz. And so what we'll see here on the screen is that it's in a web browser. Yooz is built off the most secure network on the planet, Microsoft Azure. Here at the top, we'll see it's an HTTPS. It's also secure too as well. And it's responsive, had this on your phone or tablet. And we also have a mobile app as well. And so we can log on in. Let's take a look. And we'll take a look at Yooz. And so right here inside of Yooz, we have a few things. So we have our to-do list. So I emailed some invoices straight into Yooz. And so some came here, stayed in our to-do list, which we need to review. And then some went down here to in progress. Yooz gives you the visibility that you need right now, that way you can see where things are at, right? So you can see Mr. Jones has some things, Angela, Francois, really great visibility all the way down. But I've mentioned we can process the document 20, 30 seconds. So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna bring in an invoice really quick. And we'll take a look at this Granger. Well, let's preview it real quick. So this is saved in window photo viewer. I didn't do anything special to this invoice, which is pretty cool. So let's get that. We have a drag and drop feature. If you're working on multiple screens, always drag it on over into Yooz. So down here at the bottom, a tad bit corny, but it is using. So what it's doing is reading the page in about 20 to 30 seconds, which we'll see here in just a second. And so while it's doing that, I want to show a few things. So here at the top, we can have your logo at the top, which is also really cool. We have our workspaces. So capture, my tasks, statistics, very powerful search tool, most powerful search tool on the market today. If you're looking for something, instead of going to a filing cabinet, imagine coming up here, typing in a single word, boom, and then it pulls up those invoices associated with that. We also have settings, and then under notifications, we have our user profile where my name is at. Inside of here, a lot of great stuff, right? So we have help centers, guided tours, trainings, webinars that are saved. But then also you can contact support here at the top. And then you can also contact support here at the bottom. We have a live chat, which is really nice, and where we can talk to someone here in the North America office in Dallas within a few seconds. And so we'll also see in our profile that we have a few other things too as well. So delegations. So imagine being out of the office. Maybe you're out every, for PTO, maternity leave, or maybe you're off every Friday. So now your stuff or AP stuff can now go from their queue to someone else's queue while they're out of the office. So really powerful tool that we have at Yooz. So as we can see, our PO has popped up. I may refresh really quick. It's gone down there. Let's go ahead and jump back into my task, and we'll have it pop over in just a second from there. There it goes. Let's go ahead and select. So let's look at all of them. There we go. And so as we can see here, we have clicked on the wrong one. We have our review, and then we have review PO match here at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is select this one right here, just so I can show you what it did. So we had a PO sitting in the back of Yooz, and then that invoice came in. Once it came in, it matched to it. So I mentioned this earlier, smart data extraction. So with Yooz, you'll see something very unique. Invoice number. So it's actually reading it like a human would. So it's putting that over here to your header fields to the left. These are all configurable for your Sage 300 environment. So when I click on document date, boom, to the far right of the page, red and yellow, it picks it up. Same with our due date as well. Picks up our PO number, pulls in our PO, and then it matched with our line right here, our V belts, put it to the right account. And then here's our different dimensions. That's going to be configurable for you and your Sage 300. So whatever your dimensions are, we can add those all right here at the bottom. And if something's wrong, you can always come in here, make a quick little adjustment because your accounts, your vendors, and all your dimensions are going to update inside of Yooz. So in this case, if everything looks good with our PO, we can just come up here to submit. Depending, if you don't have a workflow, you can send this straight on over to Sage 300. Great. If you wanted to have a workflow, for demo purposes, we make it simple. Just go to my manager, Barack Jones. But if you want to drop down and select who it goes to, that's not a problem. We can also do comments as well. Hit confirm, boom, it's out. With the comments, everything has an audit trail with it. And so it has a name, date, and timestamp on it for auditors. Yooz can also give you a login for your auditors so they can log on in, take a look at what they need to see, pull reports, and then leave from there. And we can also limit their access as well so they don't see everything or just view only access. So let's click on this one here since I started at the bottom on the last one. What we'll do is right here we have General Petroleum. Okay, so last time General Petroleum came in, the system memorized, we put it to these 3 different accounts here on the left. But we have the same division, right, or department, depending on your organization or location, same products, but different projects. So memorize that over here. But we have a discrepancy of 2448. Okay, so even though we have a PO, I didn't load a PO because I want to show this example because we have a really cool feature called Click and Rico. So we click here, expense 1. Our mobile gear of 2376 goes to expense 1. Let's click on it. As we see, it populates in our expense 1 box down here at the bottom. So no typing has to be done. We hit enter, boom. Automatically brings in our total, but we know that's wrong. Our surcharge of 12 bucks needs to go to expense 2. Click it, and then automatically brings in our 60, giving us a balance. This is a calculator, which is awesome. So you can actually split. Let's split the total evenly down the middle. It can do percentages, it can do multiplication, subtraction, you name it, it'll do it. But then let's go ahead down arrow, let's divide between 3, copy all lines, and then within a few seconds, it automatically did that and split it right here at the bottom. So really cool feature that we have here at Yooz. If everything here looks good, we can now just hit submit and just imagine flipping a page over where we're going to send this on over to our manager, Mr. Barack Jones again. Always type in a comment as well if you need to. Hit confirm and then yes, and then or hit confirm and then it's out onto the next one from there. When flag services comes in, we can see that everything here looks good. Now I want to point something out because I didn't load this up and I probably should have, but it says include tax. So if you're in Canada and you're working with GST, PST, all the different taxes, Yooz can read those taxes. And also if you're on the French side, our system can read French, and I'll show what that looks like here in just a second too as well. And so, but in this case, we'll go ahead and hit submit really quick. This was going to Ms. Johnson. It's over $4,000. We're going to hit confirm, send it on out, and then on to the next one. So as you can see, flip the page, keep going. We have duplicate detection at Yooz. And so right here, it notifies us a duplicate has been found. You cannot submit a duplicate. You have to actually look at it, review it. So we'll say view the document. So I'm working with one screen. We'll go ahead and pull this on down, and then we'll push it off to the side. And so now we can cross-reference the invoice that's in the back of the system with the invoice that just came in. See our invoice number, invoice date. Here's our due date. And then here's our total amount. So we can see it's clearly a duplicate. A few things we can do. We can email the vendor inside of Yooz. Here over to the right, here's your email address, subject message. There's the attachment at the bottom. You can always forward this to another colleague. Or we have an awesome feature where you can chat with somebody. So if you want to chat with somebody, we'll say, let's go to Liz. So we can ask Liz, what's going on with this invoice? Hit enter, and then you'll see my name, date, and timestamp on it. Liz will get a notification. She can jump on in, reply back to this, which is a really cool feature. Say, hey, it's a duplicate, whatever the case could be. And then if you have the rights, you can come up here. It's a little trash can to the top right. We can select delete, select our reason, type in a comment, select yes, boom, it's out, and then it's on to the next one from there. I do want to point out, like I mentioned earlier, we do read different languages. So this one is French. And so we'll see over here that it will convert it. And then also depending on the currencies, we can also have those switched over. We're associated with the US bank here. So whenever, if you pay, different currencies or maybe USD, Canadian, keep it simple, that's totally fine. We have everybody here in the back. And it'll update daily as well, which is pretty nice. So let's come out of here really quick. So here at the top, we'll see that we have a few things left. Down at the bottom, we can see kind of where things are at. Hillary, Mr. Jones, Francois has a few things. So let's look at Barack Jones really quick. So I'm an admin in my demo, so I can impersonate, jump into Mr. Jones' environment, and take a look. So in Yooz, we can really limit people's what they see and what they do. So if you wanted to limit, approvers to just approve things and not make adjustments, totally fine. If you want them to be able to make adjustments, we can also give them those rights too as well. Really up to you. We see here at the top, we have approve and now send back. So multi-steps approvals, you can send it back 1, 2, or maybe all the way back to beginning. Really up to you on that front. So what I'm gonna do here, I wanna show one feature that a lot of my clients love. It's our batch approvals. So say here, you wanted to pay all these invoices or maybe just the late ones, but we'll say all of those just to make it simple. But this 2448 looks a little high. So right here, we have an orange circle. We can click on it really quick. And then we can it'll actually pull up the invoice side by side. We'll zoom in because I know it's probably a little tiny. We can look at it, and then we can see down here at the bottom are invoice lines where things got split to, any comments as well. And so if everything here looks good, we're good to go. Let's hit process automatically, hit submit. So now boom, within seconds, we've approved 17 invoices here at the top. I know we're getting close to the end, so I'm going to wrap it up with a few things that I would like to show. So here at the top under our statistics bar, we have, this is a live feed of one of our clients. So we have they have a 95% extraction rate, everything being read 100% the first time. That means no adjustments made. And so we'll see here that we can actually have, we can see visibly what's going on in the organization. Where were we at last November? Put my mouse over, a little box pops up with 201 documents, total amount 203,000, right? Where we're projecting at for the year. Looks like we have some growth. So just a really cool visibility that's going on in the organization. Check our top vendors. How can you compare who you're paying your vendors to, right? What if one you're paying more than the other? And then you can go back and negotiate, save yourself some money there. I have a client that loves that. So, and then we'll see, this is blocked out for privacy policies. But then like I said in our search, so imagine it's very powerful. We can type in anything. So imagine typing in Toronto, if I can spell it. So type in Toronto. It's going to pull everything associated with it. So let's click on it. So out of all the words on the page, don't know if you can see it yet, it pulled Toronto, which is right here. So really powerful search tool, really awesome to have. There's also a lot more. It can do multi-criteria searches. Yooz being user-friendly, you can just type it in. So we'll say total amount. Actually, we'll just do vendors since the total amount wasn't popping. So we can select our vendors right here. We can also do, let's see, accounting invoice lines down here at the bottom. pull those, say these three. We can drill down some more on a word, but we'll just hit search. And then from there, it's gonna pull everything meeting that criteria. Say we like this search, we can always save it here in the star, name it, and then share with other users as well. And we can group people or different roles in the organization. And we also have a great feature where we can create reports as well. And in that report, we can also look at detailed lines along with the image as well by a simple click.